TMC made a clean sweep by winning in all 4 assembly constituencies in West Bengal, and 3 of the 4 BJP candidates lost their deposits. In Karnataka, BJP was handed a defeat in the ByPoll to the Hangal seat in Karnataka Chief Minister's home district of Haveri. The defeat in Hangal came despite Bomai campaigning for over 10 days. What are the factors that went against the BJP in these states? We explain.
After the assembly bypolls, a large number of party cadres has shifted their allegiance to the ruling Trinamool Congress. Even those who had come from the CPM and Congress, thinking that the BJP would do well in the assembly polls and form a government in West Bengal, they were also very disappointed, and what can I say? They were also very frustrated to see that the party couldn't do well because the party had pulled all his big guns for these assembly bypolls. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister, Indian Home Minister Amit Shah, and all the chief ministers of the BJP ruled states had campaigned for the party in West Bengal, but it didn't have the result that the party had desired. But still, then the party thought that we could change the things for us in the upcoming assembly bypolls or in any other election civic polls. But sadly, the party rank and file, which actually helps the party, in election engineering, that we call say the election machinery, that was with the BJP, has now shifted its allegiance to the TMC, and it was clear because the report we get from the districts that in large number of polling booths, BJP couldn't field its agents. So when you don't have any organizational strength to field agents, then it's not a good sign for a political party, especially in the in rural areas. So that is one side of the story. Another side of the story that the party leaders, workers, and rank and file were very much demoralized after one by one its winning MLAs shifted to the TMC. This has come as a major blow for the party because and one hand it's trying to put up a brave face, being the main opposition party in the state, and on the other hand it's also struggling with these defections. And another point of this story is that the TMC has delivered on its promises, because before the assembly polls, Mamata Banerjee has promised to implement social welfare schemes, and namely this Lakshmi Bhandar scheme, which is it's like 500 rupees cash transfer per month to the women of the house, and rupees 1,000 for those who are coming from the SC/ST background. So this has been a really successful, because once the government started distributing the forms from its Duare Sarkar campaign, which is government at your doorstep, we've seen large number of women queuing up to fill these forms, to take these forms and apply for this Lakshmi Bhandar scheme. So it was a very well received scheme, a social welfare scheme of the state government.
The polls in 2 constituencies, and the BJP lost Hangal but won the other seat. And this is very interesting because Hangal seat was held by them, which they lost, and Sindigi's seat was held by JDS, which the BJP won. And that's why I say the local specificities are so very important to understand a defeat and a victory. Coming to Hangal, the BJP had conceded the fact that their MLA in Hangal had not been keeping well through the pandemic. And therefore, the voters in Hangal did not see him as very active during the pandemic. On the other hand, the person he defeated last time, who is the victor this time in the by-election, he had been very active during the pandemic amongst the people. So this is what I mean by a local specificity. Voters did not see the presence of their local MLA who passed away. It may have been health reasons. There may have been very valid reasons why he was not part of the whole process of support to the people. But then I think it's important to budget this factor into the BJP's performance in Hangal. On the other hand, you look at the other seat, Sindigi, the JDS MLA who died, his son becomes the Congress candidate. and the BJP wins that seat. So I think there are important local lessons which we need to learn in both the seats. The Hangal victory was a very important prestige issue for the Chief Minister for two reasons. Number one, this was the first by-election after he became Chief Minister. And number two, this is a by-election in his home district. Hangal border Shigaon, which is his own constituency. So not to win a seat in your home district and not to make a clean sweep after you become Chief Minister is of course a step back for the Chief Minister. He would have preferred a clean sweep and victory in his home district, which was not to be. But I think why it was not to be, we need to budget these local factors clearly in explaining the result. 2023 is an interesting race that is opening up. Does Karnataka see the revolving door policy it's famous for since 1989? Would be an interesting trend this election, which is due in a year and a half or due in 2 years, is likely to show.